Moving on to the final segment of today's episode, we're going to do a couple rapid fire favorite player fits of mine. Just favorite player fits in general. Just this is more individual based and less about the team based. Some players who I really liked and shined at their respective schools, and maybe their teams weren't as good in the win-loss record column. But these are a couple rapid fire player fits that I like at their new schools, and just kind of some guys I think will have a big impact at their new universities. So, all right, starting out here. First, got safety. Earl Little Jr., safety from Florida State, transferring to Ohio State. Caleb Downs is obviously gone, and they lost Igman Newsom. They lost all their other secondary stars as well. Earl Little Jr.'s got a lot to pick up. He's not going to be Caleb Downs, obviously, but this is the next best weapon you got right there. 69.1 PFF grade. However, Pro Football Network's impact score had Earl Little Jr. as an 85.1 impact score with 4 interceptions. So he finished the season with 4 interceptions. This guy was electric in the first game of the season. I don't know if you remember against Alabama. I had a pick in that game. So going to be awesome. I think he's going to fit right in at Ohio State and really pick up the slack left behind by Caleb Downs. So, speaking of another Ohio State player, my next player fit I like leaving Ohio State is quarterback Lincoln Kienholz. So, he is leaving Ohio State, going to Louisville, which I love this fit at Louisville for Lincoln Kienholz. This was the guy I wanted to come to Cincinnati. We were looking for a quarterback a few weeks ago. We did not get Kienholz. Jeff Brom got him, and Jeff Brom is the perfect quarterback whisperer for this guy. The last QB to leave Ohio State and succeed was Joe Burrow. So just throwing that out there. We're not saying Kienholz is Joe Burrow. This guy's got physical tools, man. This guy is a running threat, dual threat QB, elite physical tools, good arm, throws a good long ball, has been good when we've seen him. He just has not gotten to play at Ohio State, because it's Ohio State and Julian Sainz there. He had an 86.8 PFF grade, though, when he did play. Very accurate, fast, can run. Good size. I believe he's 6'3", got an NFL arm, NFL size in the pocket. So I'm very excited to see what Kienholz can do at Louisville, because I think they're going to be an underrated team in the ACC, and I think they're going to be a sleeper for the college football playoff. So we've seen what Jeff Brown's been able to do with the past few quarterbacks. We saw what he did with Tyler Shuck. I never thought Shuck would develop into an NFL starter, and look what he did at the Saints this year. So we'll see if he can do the same thing with Kienholz. But this was just a fit I really liked, because I wanted Kienholz in Cincinnati, and I'm excited that Louisville got him and to see what he can do there. So, all right, next guy, running back Mekhi Hughes. Now this guy is an electric running back, and it was very weird why he didn't play at Oregon this year. I don't know why he didn't play. Obviously, they had some star running backs too with Noah Whittingham and whatnot, and they were fine. Oregon's offense was just fine, so they didn't quite really need Hughes. But this guy still had 1,400 yards in both of his seasons at Tulane. This is one of the best running backs in college football 2 seasons ago, and I thought he was gonna be great at Oregon. I thought he was going to really dominate there, but just did not get many carries for whatever reason. I want to say he ended up redshirting halfway through the year and then just didn't go back in the game. But he is transferred to Houston, who is in my top 25 for the way too early rankings. Mekhi Hughes is going to fit right in at Houston, and he's going to be their bell cow back, man. They got Connor Wegman coming back. They've got receivers on the outside. I believe the top 2 receivers are coming back for Wegman. And now he's got a dynamic back in Mekhi Hughes, who has over, I believe, 3,000 career rushing yards in college football. This guy's going to be electric, and this guy's just what the Cougars need to balance out their offense. I'm very excited to see how he can fit in. I think they're going to compete in the Big 12. I think they're going to be a sleeper for the college football playoff again. Went 10-3 this season. That was the best season Houston's had in quite some time. I think they're going to be even better next year. And Hughes is a big factor in that, big part of that. So, all right, next guy, Coy Parrish. Safety out of Oregon. Now, this guy is a direct replacement to Dylan Thieneman, and I'm not just saying that because he's a white safety. obviously fits the bill on that, but he plays similar to Dylan Thieneman as well. Yoked up safety, strong at the catch point, great ball skills, no great ball tracking skills as well. He had a PFN impact score of 73.8 last season for Minnesota in a bad secondary, too. He was the lone bright spot on a bad defense for Minnesota. Now, he's going to be one of the main bright spots on a good defense in Oregon. Dan Lanning brought his whole defensive line back, lost a couple guys in the secondary. However, Coy Parrish is the perfect replacement for Dylan Thieneman there. Plays similar styles as a DB. I'm very excited to see what he can do in Dan Lanning's offense. Thieneman had a similar path, actually, transferring in from a different Big Ten school in Purdue who wasn't as good, similar to Minnesota. And we just saw the season he had for Dan Lanning. Thieneman might be a second-round pick now, so there's no doubt in my mind Lanning can turn Parrish into that as well for the Ducks next season. So, all right. Quarterback Byron Brown, transferring from South Florida following his head coach Alex Skolish to Auburn. Now, this is a guy who has a really weird arm delivery, and I don't love watching him as a quarterback, but it works, and it's effective. And it's very confusing to watch, but somehow it works, and he wins games. And he's played extremely well against SEC teams in his career. I don't know if you guys remember, last season, week 2, he defeated Florida on South Florida's team in the Swamp. Went on the road, beat the Florida Gators, led USF in that game. And a few seasons ago, walked into Tuscaloosa, played a very good game against the Alabama Crimson Tide against Nick Saban, lost that game, but wait, that might have been DeBoer. I forget if that was DeBoer. I think that was DeBoer's first season. Either way, almost pulled off an upset against Alabama on the road, and then the fourth quarter kind of took off. But these are his advanced metrics. Pro Football Network impact score is at 88.8. PFF grade is a 91.9. So, not to mention, this guy can run. This guy is a huge athlete. I want to say he's like 6'4". Might be a tight end body at the NFL if you go watch him play. That's kind of the body he possesses. Obviously, a really good quarterback in college, or has been in the American Conference. We'll see how he does in the SEC. But I don't know if he's a quarterback at the next level, but he might be very effective for Auburn. I think they made a fantastic hire with Alex Skolish, and I'm excited for these two, their chemistry to continue in that offense. All right. Wide receiver, Quincy Porter. This is an Ohio State wide receiver transferring to Notre Dame. Now, any Ohio State wide receiver has talent for days. We all know that. Remember Jameson Williams? He was on Ohio State and didn't even play, didn't even get the ball, and then he transfers to Alabama, has the 1,000-yard season with Bryce Young, and look what he is now in the NFL. Anytime a wide receiver transfer leaves Ohio State, it's probably a good sign for the school getting him. Because this guy was a huge recruit. I want to say he was a 4-star high recruit, tall, lengthy receiver, good length, good size, 6'4", good at the catch point. Did not play too much. I think he's going to fit right in at Notre Dame. This is the exact receiver they've been needing. They've got a Heisman contender quarterback with C.J. Carr next season. Another weapon for him on the outside to attack and throw the ball downfield too, because we all know what they like to run the ball. We all know Freeman prefers to run the ball, but this gives Carr another weapon on the outside. Big 6'4", strong receiver. I'm excited for Quincy Porter and to see what he can do. Obviously not getting much runway at Ohio State and the receivers they have. But, all right. Edge rusher, John Henry Daly. Now, this is another player who's following his coach and Kyle Whittingham from Utah to Michigan. This guy had 11.5 sacks, 92 PFF grade, 89 PFN impact score. This guy's going to be playing on Sundays. There's no better description. This guy reminds me of Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson is what he reminds me of. He's going to be perfect for Michigan. The next pass rusher they've been missing since Aiden, really. And following his coach, the impact he's going to have on that defensive line at Michigan, fitting right in. All right, last player. Selfishly here, I want to throw this guy in for my team, my college football team, my alma mater, Cincinnati. Running back Cole Tabb, one of my favorite player fits here, transferring from Stanford. This guy had a 5.8 run grade last year, only 400 rushing yards. Didn't get a whole lot of carries at Stanford, but the carries he did get, he was good on, and he was effective on, and he breaks tackles. He's fast. He's going to be Cincinnati's RB1 this year. I think he's going to get the ball a lot. I think we're really going to force feed him the ball. 4 yards a carry. I think he's good at the catch point. Again, he's really the exact running back we need in our offense. We've got a couple other backs who brings other stuff to the table as well. So I like what Cole Tab can come in and bring coming over from Stanford, and I'm excited to see how he fits in and leads this offense. Again, like I said, I believe he will be Cincinnati's RB1 next year.